Hey all, welcome to Wilco's Nothing But Ramblings. This is episode number 1. I'm Wilco and I'm here to talk to myself for the next probably 30 odd minutes. We'll see how we go. I guess what this is my new podcast. This is because I don't have a lot of time during the afternoons, but I have lots of time in the middle of the day when no one else is available. So I sit here and talk to myself and say what I've been up to, I guess, for the last odd week, and just say what's on my mind, get some stuff out, and just have a bit of fun. Just me talking about things that are going on. So I guess that's what this podcast will be, but I'm happy for you guys to join me for the ride, and we'll see where it goes and what it turns into. I've got lots of ideas, but nothing really jumping out at me at the moment, except for the fact that I want to do something. I want to do something where I practice myself talking just consistently, and just doing a podcast solo. It's something that I've always wanted to do, so it's something that I've decided I finally will do with this expansion of Locked On Lads that we are currently undergoing. Like I said, I've had this in the back of my mind to do for a very, very long time. Shout out to Mr. Remy over at Bob Shell Jackets. He is the one that inspires me with my morning coffee. Rest in peace. Or I haven't seen it for a while, so maybe it is still there. I've changed RSS feed providers a lot, that maybe I've just missed it, but he does a very good talk show version, about 15-20 minutes of just him talking about given topics. So I want to do it a little bit wider than that. I'm doing a little more writing at the moment, so I want to delve into that kind of stuff. What I've expand on, basically the little blog posts and articles that I'm writing for lockedonlads.com, just sort of expand on that a little bit, or give some stuff behind the scenes of what I actually did to more in-depth details of what I'm playing in for those articles, or the stories that I'm seeing come across my inbox. Why? I guess I sort of answered that before. Just filling in some time. Definitely every Monday, I generally have probably about 4 hours to myself in the middle of the day, so that's a good time for me to write and record and edit and make other content for lockedonlads.com. So it's about time that I pulled my finger out and finally did something that I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. So very excited just to see what it goes, who picks it up, and what you guys out there think of it. So you can always get me at wilcoschillzone@gmail.com, but at the more immediate web email address of contact us at lockedonlads.com is probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. But Wilco's Chill Zone on Twitter, and also now streaming through twitch.tv/lockedonlads a couple nights a week along with the other boys. You also see some stuff over at YouTube. Once I set that up properly, I think it should be youtube.com/lockedonlads as well, but we will have to test that later. But I guess the big thing I've been doing for the last sort of week, this episode was supposed to be recorded on Monday, but I was in Sydney on Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday had been chaos trying to get this website up and running for the podcast last night of a Tom Clancy podcast. And yeah, so the recording of it unfortunately slipped till today when I've got some free time. The website's up. We launched it last night. We've sold a couple of things through the merch store. Everything seems to be working as intended, except for a few little spelling mistakes and things like that. But yeah, pretty happy with where it's at the moment. Now we move into that process of letting people actually know it's there and seeing who will actually drop by and see it, and if anyone actually does it. So we're sort of giving ourselves 12 months, I guess, internally, that we go for this expansion. We see what happens, we see what sticks, and we see if it's worth it. Like, we've got a fairly good audience, a very consistent audience with Locked On a Tom Clancy podcast. We've doubled in other things like ESL Rap. Me and Butters, myself, came from this mega Pokecast about Pokemon Go. We also did Super Hype Train, which was a very ambitious podcast, which inevitably failed because it was too ambitious at the time. And we started big, and we should have started small and grown up, I guess, rather than starting big and hoping for the best. But and the Megacast is still going as well at the moment. But yeah, we've grown and changed over the 3 or 4 years that I've been content creating, and yeah, so interesting to see how this goes. But like I said, the website's been my focus for the last, or basically, week. Outside of that, I've been playing a bit, but I don't play much on the PC at the moment, because when I'm in front of my PC, I am doing website stuff. So now that's up and running, I should be able to get back to PC. I'm looking forward to jumping into more Division 2 very soon. start that grind again. However, there's some things that are really pulling me away from it at the moment, and that's suiting my lifestyle at the moment. And my lifestyle is gaming on the run, I guess, is the best way to describe it, because my life is fairly busy at the moment. I get up and start work at 4 o'clock in the morning, which is why I get this massive chunk of time in the middle of the day to basically either game or create content, or sometimes, a lot of the time, sleep, because, I've got those kids I've got to grab by 3 p.m. So I've got that window of generally between 12 and 3 or 1 and 3 to have lunch, play games, create content, or sleep. So outside of that, I'm spending a lot of time with my wife of an evening, where I used to be streaming a lot more before we got married. So that has been a shift I've had, and a lot of that honestly is due to the fact that I get to 7:30 at night, and I am just gone. I'm so exhausted. I need to get up by sort of 3 o'clock is the alarm. So streaming is very hard at night. So chilling on the lounge is sort of me at the moment at night. So you are missing out on a lot of my streaming. That's why the boys are filling the gap now. We've made it Locked On Lads on Twitch. So, but back to gaming on the run, which is my lifestyle at the moment. I am playing a lot more on my phone, playing a lot more mobile games at the moment, because I get a spare 5-10 minutes at work. I can just quickly sit there and play Lego Towers, which I'll talk about in a sec, and Dr. Mario are my two drugs of choice at the moment. So they're sort of keeping me sane in between the craziness of my life. But the other thing that has really helped in these crazy times is the Switch. Like I said, I can chill out in the lounge of a night, or I get about a half-hour window at work sometimes where I can sit back and, I've got nothing to do, and I generally will fall asleep on my front seat of my car. But if I've got my Switch with me, which I do now, I will sit there and play something on the Switch. That is my gaming at the moment. So I'll play about an hour or so at night on the Switch on the lounge while watching TV shows, and then mobile games when I can. So the drug of choice, as we say, for the Switch at the moment is Dragon Quest Builders 2. I didn't want to start anything else until I've recorded this first episode, because I wanted to talk about Dragon Quest Builders 2 in depth, and then move on to a couple of the other games I've got lined up, say Marvel Ultimate Alliance and Fire Emblem Three Houses as well, which are both itching to get into. So hopefully I'll start them next week and give you a bit of feedback on what they're about. But Dragon Quest Builders 2, oh my god, it is exactly what I needed in my life right now. If you've heard any of my other talkings for the last couple of weeks on other podcasts, Moonlighter has been has my 100% full attention at the moment. However, that was because I was buying stuff. I was doing dungeon runs, collecting stuff, selling stuff. That's what I wanted to do. That's the game loop I really wanted. I was enjoying it. But I missed the crafting. Like, there's just no crafting. If you wanted to make stuff, you had to take it to a vendor. He had to make it for you. You had to pay lots of money. It was a cash sink. I understand why it was there. Otherwise, you would be just making stuff really expensive and selling it off. But I really craved that crafting. I've craved that creation of things. Like, I even dabbled with Xbox Game Pass into Farming Simulator 2017 of all things. And oh my god, that was scratching that itch as well. But Dragon Quest Builders 2 came along. I wasn't a huge Minecraft player. There was a hot minute there where I did play it obsessively for about a week, but never really something I've really jumped into, because when I played Minecraft, it's like when I play Zelda Breath of the Wild. There's no end game there. You dig, there's nothing dragging you along. You're just trying to find the better thing and the better thing and the better thing. Dragon Quest Builders 2 was not on my radar. I must say, I didn't play Dragon Quest Builders 1. I sort of wanted to, but I just missed it. But Dragon Quest Builders 2, I've got a list of games, basically release dates on my calendar, so I know the ones that I definitely have to get. Dragon Quest Builders 2 wasn't on that, so it just happened to come out in a week where I was free. I had a bit of spare time with travel coming up, so I went, I'll get that, why not? I've got a little bit more disposable income now than I used to, so yeah, we'll get it and we'll see what it's like. And from the first moment, it's so story driven, to a fault, I guess, is the thing at the moment, but it is very story driven, which is combining that my need for basically direction in a game. It's also feeding that crafting, that creation, that finding stuff, the growing of stuff, all that kind of game loops that I really, really am striving for at the moment, all in one package with an actual fairly good storyline. I've been playing for over 30 hours now. I found out when I looked at the Switch the other day, so it's been out for a bit over 2 weeks. So you can tell I don't usually sink that much time into my Switch, but this one has really got me going. I guess the cons are the fact that it's not as open at this stage of the game. Like, it's very, please build this for me in this small area. And speaking of that small area, you never know where your town is. Like, it grows every time you level it up, but you never see the outskirts of it. But so you can do this beautiful building that the villagers want you to build, and then you find out, oh, it's outside the area, so it doesn't actually count, and it's not useful. So you got to smash it down and start again and move it over and try and hopefully get it in that radius. But it is very much like that. So it still feels like the tutorial 30 hours in. So I'm going up to people, I'm getting a mission, they're telling me what I need build and how to build it, and I build it. And that's the loop at the moment. I've just finished the second island, so I'm just heading back to my own island again. But even there, it's telling me I want this and I want this and I want this. But it is a lot more open on how I do that and what I have to do. So that's the part I'm about to dig my teeth into right now. So it's literally just arrived to the island. The dialogue just started up again, and I turned it off because it was late at night. So that's the next part I'm about to jump into. So I'm really excited about getting back into that very, very soon. That loop is great, and I love it, and it's just what I need. I know it's not for everyone, but obviously the other thing is I hate reading subtitles, so I find myself skipping over a lot of the dialogue, but I understand what's going on, and when I know there's big moments, I will definitely 100% read that. But I miss that whole narrative-driven, actually voice-acted story part of the game. So that's my other downfall with it at the moment. But I'm still the moment-to-moment gameplay, the above and beyond that it goes over Minecraft, where it is, you can combine a lot more things with the blueprints and make actual specific rooms as long as you do them in certain ways. That is a lot more in depth than what anything you're going to see in Minecraft. So Dragon Quest Builders 2 for me is a very must buy if you are any kind of a Minecraft or creation or art, like city building type of fan, anything like that. You're gonna love this game. The way they use seeds and with the farming side of thing, which is the whole first island, was really clever. Like, it wasn't just a grab this seed, put this in here, grab this seed, put this in here. It was things like sugarcane, you needed to actually build a wet area for them to grow in. Tomatoes, you actually had to put them on a stick, on a pole, so they grew up. And they told you why in the game, which is really good. So definitely enjoyed that. The combat is a bit hit and miss. Once you get in a rhythm, like for the bigger enemies, yeah, cool, you can do the dance and miss it's very well animated when the attacks are going to come. They give you a lot of time to dodge and get out of the way. When there's a lot of enemies on screen at once, it's a little bit hard, and it's just get in there and do it. But I still feel like 30 odd hours in, I'm still in the tutorial. That's the other problem at the moment. So hopefully when I get through that sort of period and get more towards the end game of it, which I'm slowly getting towards, hopefully I'm not over it and I don't use the sandbox type of style of the game, that I'll have access to then and be able to actually make some really cool stuff. Because I've seen some amazing buildings in this, and I'm not that talented, but I do want to just see what we do, especially like we said with the mechanics of combining different things in the world to actually do specific needs in the game. So I love it. It's really good. Definitely one to check out if you're a Nintendo fan at all. Actually, I think it's on PS4 as well, so check it out over there. But I'm enjoying the Switch nature of it, where you get to roam around and play it on the go. So speaking of playing it on the go, Dr. Mario is one of those games that's frustrating the hell out of me. I'm craving for a match 3 type game on the mobile, Candy Crush kind of thing, or something along those lines. This almost scratches that itch. It's almost there. It is. You can see where the microtransactions are in it, so it's a free to play mobile game that's gonna want you to, the more you play it, the more you spend. But saying that, that was the criticisms I heard from a lot of people, but saying that, I haven't spent a cent on it, and I've actually got all these 5 lots of hearts sitting in my inbox from doing certain things that I don't think I'll ever run out and need to buy anything that gets me unlimited hearts or anything like that, because I've got all these ones spare yet to claim. I never play it for long enough, I guess, to run out of hearts, because by the time I use the 5 hearts, I'm generally worked out the level and moved on. I'm only about 60 to 70 levels into it at the moment, but it is definitely picking up the hardness level of it as I go through. But it's still not like, there's always 1, 2, 3 attempts. Okay, I understand what it wants me to do now. There is a lot of, not a lot, but there is some luck involved in the colors pills that you do get, or capsules that you get to fight these viruses. But yeah, the premise of the game is basically match colors of viruses with capsules, remove all the viruses from the level within a certain amount of capsules, and you win and move on. It's just simple like that. Problem is the touch controls. I don't know whether it's my fat fingers or the size of my phone, which is a Galaxy S8, so it's a good size phone, but I don't know whether it's meant more for an iPad or something like that. And I find myself putting a capsule, especially when I get in a rhythm and I try and do it quicker, dropping a capsule in a certain spot and going, yep, cool, that's gonna unlock all this. And as I move my finger away, it still senses that I'm holding it down, and it moves it to the right or the left just one spot, which completely ruins everything, and it's really hard to get out of. And I just get frustrated with that game a lot more than I should for a mobile game, when I'm just trying to jump in for 5 minutes and fill in a bit of time. Like, the gameplay loop is great, it's just not quite right, I don't think. Maybe it's just my fingers aren't used to playing mobile games like that, but I've never had this frustrating feeling from so consistently from any other game. But saying that, the gameplay loop is rather good, and it is fairly challenging, the levels I'm getting up to now, especially when you start getting some of the timed missions. Those ones I haven't really had a huge crack at, because I just don't have the concentration when I'm playing it. Like, I'm usually at work when I'm just waiting for some parcels to come through, so I go, okay, cool, I'll play it now for 5 minutes. You need to be concentrating for the speed ones, and I'm not playing it at home, because I'm playing Dragon Quest Builders 2 when I've got that kind of time to concentrate on things. But look, it's a free game. If you want a match 3 style game and you like Mario, it's probably worth a look at. It's free. Have a crack, no problems at all. The one that has really got me addicted, though, is Lego Towers. Wow, what a game. I heard some people talking about it. I think it was kind of funny, was where I first heard of it. Andrew Renee in particular, raving about it. And I had a flight to Tamworth, and I'm like, I'll download it and we'll see what happens. I played it that whole flight. I didn't stop. The loop, it's great for 5 minutes at a time, but you can also probably get about 15 minutes out of it, maybe 10 minutes, I guess, out of it before you start going, yeah, I've had enough of this, I need to put it down. But it's one of those games that keeps doing things in the background, so as long as you're topping up your stores and things like that, you're still gaining money, so you don't have to be playing it all the time to progress. But basically, so what it is, you've got a tower, it's all made of Lego, you got Lego characters running around. You start with about 6 or 7 floors, and you run the lift, and you get tips for running the lift. So you take someone, they say, I want to go to level 6, you hold down the button on the screen, you go to level 6, you let them out, they give you money. However, you've also got residential levels on there, which you own. So people pay you rent every day for that kind of thing. I think it's about 19,000 coins I get on a day for rent, I think they call it. But then you've also got your stores you can put in there. There's like 5 different types of stores, ranging from retail to food to all the recreational and all that kind of stuff. So you can pick which ones you want to put in. You got residents to move into the residential floors. They have certain wants in a job, so they want to be the mailman, or they want to be the bowling instructor, or things like that. If you can match them up to that, you get more money, but otherwise you get them close enough, so if they're in the recreational category, that's good enough. Or you could just put them wherever, it doesn't matter. So sort of you get 5 residents per floor, so every second floor you probably need to start looking at putting a residential person in, a residential floor in, to get the people to fill in your other stores, because you get 3 places in a floor that's selling something. Okay, so they're important. You need to have unemployed person employed there. Then you need to then stock it, which takes time, and you can't stock more than one of those 3 spots at a time. So that's where it holds you back from doing lots of things at once, and rewards you for going back to it every sort of hour. You can upgrade those stores to hold more stock, so you don't have to go back every hour. Then it becomes every 2 hours or 3 hours or things like that. But the main goal is you get money from selling stuff, you get money from doing the tips from the elevator stuff, you get money from selling your little character pieces that you get duplicates of, all that kind of stuff, and use that money to buy more floors. Now I'm up to level floor, I've got 22 floors in my building, and at that stage it gets quite interesting because you get little missions to find things on different levels. So you've actually got to scroll up and down till you find the thing that you're looking for, and you get bucks, which are the notes, which is what they use to upgrade things and purchase more cosmetic things, which is how they try and entice you to pay money for this, because those things are fairly important. But they do give you a good supply of them. I haven't paid a cent for it. I've been playing it for about 3 weeks and I'm going fairly well at the moment. But you use that to upgrade your lift to go faster. You upgrade your stores to hold more stock so you don't have to be there as often. You use it to customize your building, but they're expensive. So where you upgrade things, it's like 1, 2, 300. These are like 5,000 and 6,000 to customize your building itself, so it looks a bit different. So that's where you start really paying money for it. But you do get these bucks from doing these little missions, so $10 at a time generally. You also get, at some stage, it puts a note on one of the floors, and if you take a resident or a lift person to that floor, that's the one they asked for. Instead of getting coins, you get the notes, and you get $10 per floor that it is. So if you go to take them, if it's level 20, let's say, you take them to there's a note on that one, you get 200 notes, which if you play it, like actually physically play the game, sit there and do the lift operation part of it, you get them fairly consistently, so you're never really out of them. There are points like I would want to spend more right now, but I understand I don't need to. So it is great for, like I said, play it 4 times a day. Generally, you get a few pieces, you get enough coin to upgrade you to the next floor. Floors obviously get more expensive as you go along, but you start making more money if you get it, especially if you start getting back to it more regularly. Like I said, it's a perfect on-you-go thing. I've got 5 minutes here. I'll just quickly check out, restock all my stores, and take a few people up and down, try and get some bucks, and come back to it later. So definitely one I'd recommend if you've got you want to download onto your mobile. So definitely check that one out. Other than that, I haven't played a lot, but I want to definitely have a section in this podcast for Xbox Game Pass, both Xbox and PC, which is the Ultimate Edition, which is what I've got, Xbox Pass Ultimate. Playing a lot more of that. 2 reasons. One, because there's some really cool games in that I have missed, that people have always said, hey, play this. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have time. But now they're free. They're on there. I'm getting into them more. But the other thing they've done, the sneaky Microsoft people, they put quests out there. Now, this is a bit of news article from about 1.5 years ago that I laughed at and went, yeah, why would you put quests in there? Okay, cool. You get Microsoft reward points. If you're in that ecosystem, cool, you get a few of them. Yes, you get over 1,000. Now, to put that in perspective, you get a $10 voucher at about 9,000 points. Now, there's lots of other ways you can earn these points through doing Microsoft things like using their search engine, Bing, doing their daily quests on the app, which is actually sort of doing things like read this search result or do this quiz and things like that. If you do it every day, you get bonus points and all that kind of stuff. It adds up pretty quickly. Like, I've been doing it for about 3-4 weeks, and I've got enough for a $10 voucher on Microsoft's products. So that's fairly handy. I'm saving that up for whenever I decide to actually get a new controller or a game or something like that. I'll be able to use that then. So, but the quests they give you for Xbox Game Pass is, hey, this month Shadow of War is on Xbox Game Pass. If you get an achievement on that, we'll give you 100 points towards your rewards total. Or What was the one I did last month? Lego Batman 2 and 3 are on there from 360 and Xbox One. You get an achievement on both of them, we'll give you 400 points. So it's been encouraging me to jump back in and actually play some games I missed. Like I've played some great games. I absolutely had a massive love affair with Life is Strange 1, which I'd always talked about, always wanted to play, but never got around to playing. I owned it on PC. I pre-ordered it before it launched on Steam, but never played it still. I've done podcasts about it and never actually played it, just talked about the sequels and stuff like that. And I thought, yeah, look, why not? It's got a quest attached to it. It's got to get a couple of achievements. It'll be fine. I won't get hooked. Man, I fell down and just fell in love with that game. It was all I wanted to do for about a full week. Was finish those 5 episodes, and very, very well done. Don't nod. You've just, wow, that's a game everyone needs to play. I've now getting ready to play the Before the Storm series, which is the prequel. I'm also getting ready to play the lead up to number 2, which I always get the name wrong for it, so I'm not going to even say it. But then obviously season 2, or Life is Strange 2. Sorry, I'm getting ready to play that because that is part of Game Pass. It's free. I can just sit there and play it on my Xbox, and that'll be part of some content I do coming forward. But I've been playing Dead by Daylight, which, once again, a game I own on Steam. I've never played it because I bought it. It was on sale, and I thought that's a cool game. Everyone was talking about it. I played like 6 or 7 or 8 hours of it, understood the mechanics of it, and then moved on to the next title, but really loved it, and I'll go back and play it sometime soon. Moonlighter was where I found that. Started on Xbox. Really, really loved it. Then bought it on Switch because I knew it was a game I'd be playing on Switch way more than Xbox. But once again, a game I found through Xbox Game Pass. We've just had the latest August updates, and wow, there's some cool looking games coming this month. Once again, a game that I have already owned, hardly played it, but very keen to jump into is Ashes. Comes out today on Xbox Game Pass. So definitely one I will be finally getting around to playing. But also we've got Pandemic, which is a really cool game that I do own somewhere else. I will be definitely playing. Jackbox Party Pack 2 is coming to Xbox Game Pass. Slay the Spire sounds really cool. Sounds like a I've forgotten the name of it, but it's a card deck building, battling sort of story driven game, which looks really good. Space Hulk Tactics, not sure if I'll get into that, but I'll probably give it a go at some stage because it'll probably be a quest. But Downwell, indie darling that's been around for a long time, and I think I own it through PSN or something like that. Definitely going to be having a look at that on Xbox Game Pass. Speaking of the quests, this month, just got them emailed through to me yesterday from Xbox Australia. Thank you for that. 1,200 points are up for grabs between the 1st of August and 2nd of September. 200 points for getting 2 achievements in Batman Arkham Knight, a game, once again, I own, haven't played, will play that. Metro Exodus, Metro Last Night, and Metro 2033 Redux will get 100 points, earn 1 achievement in any of those games. Battle your way in Borderlands, the Handsome Collection, Doom, and Payday 2. So 300 points up for grabs. All you gotta do is get 1 achievement in each of those. 100 reward points for getting 2 achievements in Ashes Cricket as well. Play something new. So earn an achievement for playing within the Play Something New collection. So this is where they give you 5, 6, 7 games. If you play 3 of them, I'll get an achievement in 3 different ones of them. You get 300 points for that. Then there's some mobile app stuff just for signing in. You get some points as well. So very interesting lineup of games that I'll get to play and probably stream a lot of them. Metro, I'm pretty keen to play that on stream. So that is what's happening going forward. Like I said, Xbox Game Pass, finding some great games. I actually played Hollow Knight for the first time, and wow, what a beautiful game. Definitely not what a game for me. It's too hard. I understand it completely. I understand what it's trying to do, but I just don't have that ability to play that game. But wow, what a game. And yeah, found it again through Xbox Game Pass. So that is sort of where the content for my gaming stuff has been. As for life, man, I've been so busy as always. I always say that, but just like you said, like I was saying before, up at 4, finish at 1, sort of have a 2 hour gap, which is lunch, which is what my stomach is telling me is ready for right now. Then pick up the kids, do housework, all that kind of stuff. It's just the same thing every day. Weekends, we've been going here, there, and everywhere. We spent a weekend in Sydney last weekend. I've got trips to Melbourne coming up for Esports Open. I've got the Ubi Experience mid-September in Sydney, trying to get that Oz Comic Con as well. I've got a Bucks weekend coming up in October. I've then got the wedding for that at the end of October. Just seems like there's something on every weekend at the moment. So the Switch will obviously be my go-to machine of choice for a while, with things going a bit crazy at the moment. But yeah, just having nightmare. I've got stories to tell, but probably not enough time. I've already rambled on way too long at the moment. But banks, oh my god, I hate banks. They are just doing my head in. I've got a certain amount of debt with banks at the moment, which I'm actually supposed to be getting a phone call any moment now from the Commonwealth, because I asked them, hey, my credit card and my overdraft, can I just put them together? Don't give me any more money, just put them together. So I've got one account. I'm just paying overdraft interest. I've got better cash flow. That's all I want for my business, because my business has expanded massively in the last 12 months. And what I had isn't what I need now. And they went, yeah, no problems. We just have to look at your serviceability of this. So you can't afford the repayments, then we can't do it for you. And I'm like, but I'm paying the same amount as what I'm paying now, what I have for the last 12 years. I've had this business, and you need to check that I can still service that with my income going through the... Okay. Yes, no problems. We'll do that. Don't give me any more money. I don't want any more money. I just want it all in the one place. And the same with my home loan. I'm doing the same thing, trying to refinance that. And then we had it. It was just about there. We had some stuff. We're going to do some stuff to the house with the money we're going to have spare from the value, from the equity we had in the house. And then it seems like the valuation guy came through and wrote the wrong number down in the middle. So instead of it being this much, it was actually valued almost 70k less than what everyone else that we've talked to, including the bank itself, thought it was valued at, which basically put us 2% under what we could actually do anything at all. So it's a nightmare at the moment. The banks, I hate. It's Westpac and Commonwealth. They're both annoying me, to the point where Westpac guy turned around and said, I need your statements for these car loans. I said, but they're with Westpac. They're with you guys. And they're part of my business, so you don't really need to worry about them for the home side of things, because it's covered in the business, like the profit and loss and all that kind of stuff. Because, yeah, I need those statements. I'm like, but they're with you. Why can't you get access? No, I've never, ever got statements for these before in my life, because I've had them for about 12 months and I haven't needed them. But Westpac themselves want the Westpac statements. It just baffles me, the banks at the moment. But anyway, that's the wrestle I'm having at the moment. That's what's causing me my most stress at the moment. But once we're through that, hopefully in the next week or two, I'll either know one way or other. I'm either going to know that it's just not happening at the moment and I'll put it off for 6 months and we'll go on, or I'll have it all sorted and everything will be done and I can focus on other things in my life. But yeah, that's my stress at the moment, is those banks. Gotta love a good bank. Upcoming content, though, I will obviously be talking. I really want to get into Fire Emblem 3 Heroes. Like I said, I own that. It's on my Switch. I just need to play it. I haven't wanted to start it until I talked about Dragon Quest Builders 2, which I will be doing a bit of a impressions article for the website fairly soon. So hopefully have some feedback on that next week for you. I'm going to try and get back to the Monday schedule, so it will be a short turnaround till the next episode. We will see, or it might be I skip a week and go the longer turnaround. We will see what happens over the weekend, but I've got some other stuff coming to you. I'm about to do some unboxings at the moment. Got some BenQ Zoe mice there to review, so thank you so much, BenQ Zoe, for working with me again. It's been a hot minute since that's happened, but really keen to review these mice that they've sent me, the S1 and the S2, which are dedicated towards esports players, which isn't me, but I do. They do like the stuff I did with their esports monitors, so I get a bit of a layman's look at something that is sort of high end, and we'll see how it fits into the general everyday public's point of view. So looking forward to unboxing them, getting about 2 weeks with them, then do the review and all the other content with it, let you know what it's like, and then send them back. But I've got that. I've got my Surface Go, which I want to talk about a little bit on the next episode because I'm really enjoying it and what it's doing for me. I've got a few other bits of tech that I want to talk about as well, including why I set my house up with all these different streaming gadgets. But yeah, and also I want to, probably won't be by then, but the Galaxy Note 10 announcement is a matter of a week away, so that'll be upcoming in one of the podcasts coming up soon. So there is obviously then also Marvel Ultimate Alliance in one of the upcoming episodes I'll be talking about a bit. And like I said, I just want to get into these Xbox Game Pass games, back catalogue stuff, and bring that kind of stuff to you as well. But that's what you're going to see from here, just me rambling about whatever's in my head, going whatever direction it heads up. A little bit probably more structured than I thought it would be today, and a little bit more just flowing, actually. So we shouldn't need many edits. I don't think it'll need any edits at all, but we will see. So thank you, everyone. If you want to follow me, Walko's Shield Zone is the place on Twitter. If you want to catch all my content, you can either go to ultrazipmega.com.au. A lot of stuff will be heading back there, but also lockedonlads.com is where the blog and everything else will be as well. Locked On Lads in pretty much every other area that you want to go, so Twitch, YouTube, Twitter as well. So check out all those places if you want to get the content there, or also contact us at lockedonlads.com is the way you can email us. There is also a questions tab on the website as well, so you can go there for questions and feedback form as well. Rate us on iTunes. Let me know your feedback on there as well, or any other podcast app of choice. It helps the podcast get out there. Press that subscribe button too if you do like it, so you can get it more regularly, and it helps with exposure so I can get out there to many other places, which is the end goal as always. But thank you anyone who pulled up with me for the half hour. Thank you anyone who listened all the way to the end. Like I said, really fun finally actually getting to do the project that I've been after for a while. I've got another project that I've been wanting to do forever and a day, hopefully getting off the ground fairly soon as well. I'll send out emails about that very soon. But look, it's been an episode of me rambling. Thank you for putting up with my ramblings, and we'll ramble next week. Have a good day, guys. See ya.